Hello, everybody. Good evening. Thanks for showing up. I was talking about burnout of doctors this morning, and we were doing a lot of videos on that. So I plan to present them today. I kind of put it there. How can you balance between heavy workloads that we encounter and also the personal life that gets neglected quite often, right? So I thought I will open in the morning in the Docks and Burnout House and then the BFR in the evening to really bring the focus and also invite more people who are morning people, sometimes evening according to the country they are and according to the times and all that. Okay. This morning was more for people in England and other places where that is more convenient for them, and in the evening is more convenient for the USA as a whole. I think we'll adjust them as we go along because I plan to do these talks for several weeks to come because this is such an important topic for us. Not only for the doctors, for the patients as a whole, and many doctors are really leaving the profession because they're so exhausted, to do that. Sharon, I invited you if you want to come up and participate in the discussion. That would be good. Um, uh, but basically, I have been at it. Hi, Sharon, how are you?
Good, Dr. Rao. How are you?
I am good. I'm pumped up about this topic because I have been working quite a lot for a lot of years, and a lot of people I talk to, they respond very positively. So, I mean, they come to me with the signs of burnout, and then they go with some kind of transformation and thanking me. That's why I thought I should expand this topic and help the profession. I was involved with my colleagues most of the time, but now I'm bringing it out more often so that people will be, taking advantage of the program that we had. What do you think? Do you think this problem you encounter? What do you do?
I absolutely do. I
Yeah.
work with physicians all the time in the revenue cycle space,
Yeah.
and they are getting compounded
Yes.
in every direction, just the patient care in general,
Yeah.
dealing with electronic health records,
Yeah.
dealing with quality initiatives,
Yeah.
dealing with denials from payers, dealing with, administrative challenges,
Yeah.
trying to navigate things post pandemic, managing patients with telehealth.
Yeah.
So the list goes on for me, Dr. Rao. So
Yeah. You
I
are.
do understand.
I'm glad you are here, Sharon, because you take right out of my mouth all the words because actually involved in it, and then you know the taste of it, how it feels when these things are on us personally and also around us, and sometimes we hardly have the support of the administration and other people too because they say we cannot do much about it and all that. But I think. I come from the viewpoint of okay, system change is definitely needed, but what about our own inner resilience for our health, for our families, for our everything? How can we cultivate some kind of practices that will give us inner resilience so that we can face this? For example, I faced the EMR revolution with a real full. I embraced it actually. I never fought the change, right? That made me learn the EMR system very well, and I was able to teach other people too. So I made that an ally rather than as a real big problem. That really helped me. And of course, I do the yoga and breathing and meditation and all that. That made me less reactive and more responsive. So that also helped. So does that make sense what I'm saying about inner resilience?
Yeah, it does because, and you're taking the approach where you're trying to embrace it and
Yeah.
manage it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
is really a good approach because resistance often makes things worse.
Yeah.
Right? So not only do you have the problem of learning the system,
Yeah.
you then have the problem of the people that are trying to teach you
Yeah.
and getting you to adopt that system.
Yes.
So you bring yourself into other levels of issues related to it.
See, it started in 2008 for us because our hospital was the 11th in the chain of 25. So they were implementing 11th. So I was very computer geek like, right? I was involved in computers a long time before, but I was really involved about how can we really avoid the solo silo system of practices where we cannot get the patient data quickly versus what we can do with all the computers communicate with each other. That was my naive understanding. Interoperability would be easy and all that. Later it proved much tougher, but still that's much better system I thought. So I jumped into that, and then I became the one of the people in the physician advisory board. That's the one that is selecting and advising. We didn't have a choice to select the system because it's coming from the higher authorities, right? And but then we had the do the local selection implementation. We did about 9 months of training for our people and all that. Then I took the team to a neighborhood hospital, not neighborhood, in the previous hospital in Detroit. We are in Iowa, so we went to Detroit and we saw their system. We have understood what their problems were and all that. There was another guy like me who is very enthusiastic. He was the chief medical officer, so he took us through a PowerPoint presentation of what happened, what they learned, and all that. So we were benefited by their experience. So we came back and we implemented it, and then I had to really make our people really learn that, but then they were not interested. They fought us like anything, all the doctors in the locally. So that was another thing. At that time, it was really resistant. But then we were able to get the system implemented, and then we trained them. From then onwards, I was doing stress reduction classes for the trainees because those nurses who were trying to train their physicians, they really got it bad because the doctors were taking out on them all their frustrations. So I had to train them for the stress, and at the time I called stress management for excessive tension. That was the name of my program. So I gave it to them. Every time I gave it, the whole auditorium full with all the people, maybe roughly 200 people, all the nurses, all the workers, everybody came. Then I refined it, and then it evolved into a very good system where people were taking it and then handling their stress somewhat better. You know, and then that evolved into something more. And now I can really conduct wellness classes where people can learn things and then at least improve three things. Number one is really deep breathing helped them to control the thought and also be more less reactive rather than reactive. They were more responsive, and also they were able to enjoy their work because I kind of instilled this service mindedness in them, and then that really helped too. What do you think about those measures, Sharon?
Yeah, I think those are good ways to approach it. I know it can be very difficult with training staff, and in many cases that that EHR training may come from nurses that
Yeah.
are trained for that particular engagement. And of course, they deal with them in various levels. I know many of my colleagues also do that training.
Mm.
So it does, it can cause
Yeah.
stress on both sides. So
Yeah.
actually taking in that deep breathing,
Mhm.
taking a moment
Yeah.
before you respond can definitely help you. And I try to use those methods as well, Dr. Rock.
Very good. Because I do start the day, Sharon, like being aware of myself, not touch the devices. And then I do the yoga, asanas, and also all that with the deep breathing, meditation, all that. All end of the day is I want to come into the present and then carry that present mode through the day. So whatever I do, I give complete attention. And at the end of the day, before I retire to the sleep and all that, I kind of put the devices away like 1 hour before I go to bed. And just before bed, I kind of recall all the things that happened during the day and then dump them so that I can sleep on an empty mind. What do you have any specific recommendations that you could suggest to people who are burning out?
I did a little PowerPoint on that as part of the OCC.
Mm.
Managing stress, taking a moment, exercising, meditation.
Mm.
So I think those are ideal ways to get your mind centered,
Yeah.
especially before you go into those sessions, those meetings.
Yeah.
Taking a second, collecting your thoughts,
Yeah.
and getting yourself mentally prepared and free to, have good communication,
Yeah.
not bringing that baggage with you.
Yeah.
So those things help that. And then later in the evening, an opportunity to release, whether that's in your drive if you're driving,
Yeah.
or if you're working at home, shutting down your computer
Yeah.
and just having a moment there to just collect your thoughts and breathe easy.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. Because these are the kind of things I think we could do for ourselves. Of course, we have to fight the system. We have to understand how to resist, all sorts of things that are going on. Apart from that, this technology, it could be a double-edged sword. We can use it very effectively, and it can get to us. That overthinking, information overload. I work on that quite often because I tell them, see, the advanced meditation that I do is like keeps me in meditative mode all the time. So I don't do sitting down meditation as much I'm in meditation through the day as I work through. This is a witness consciousness cultivation. Okay, we are really having thoughts in our awareness. Be the awareness, bring the awareness to the forefront where you are really seeing what is going on in your thoughts, emotions, reactions, all that as like a witness of that. Once you are there, the mind doesn't bother you that much as actually I'm more in silence, Sharon, and then I use the thought. Does that make sense to you, what I said?
It does.
Yeah. So it's a kind of witness consciousness. I think everybody knows about it, but only bringing it in the fort while you are working is the challenge, I think, because so many people coming at us, all the patients, relatives, or other doctors, other nurses, or administrators, insurances, phone calls, all these things are coming. So I tell them, do one thing at a time. That's perplexing to a lot of people because the multitasking has become like a feature of productivity. But actually, when you really focus your awareness on one thing at a time, so many things get done properly, and you don't have to shift your attention so much that you will be suffering because of the attention deficit. This was the chief thing that many doctors told me about because they get so many interruptions. Then I told them, okay, look at social media, look at everything that's going on. They are trying to attack your attention. So you got to really shut off notifications, shut off things that you don't really need, and really focus on only the work that is there. Like I don't open too many patients on the EMR, and when I go to the patient, I don't take the computer, but I just go and talk to him. And then after that is done, then I document. That kind of thing is really helps patient also because he knows that I am seeing him. But then I kind of got to system where the patient can see his data on his side, whereas I can use my computer with my side. So then the patient is involved in the documentation. That helped quite a bit. How do you approach that? Computer and physician interaction interfering with the patient case.
I'm sorry, Dr. Ralph. My husband came in. My apologies.
That's okay. That's okay. So I was talking about how we involve the patients. when we are documenting, because usually we carry laptop or some cow to document the patient data. And then I have seen my colleagues kind of ignore the patient completely, and the patients had a big problem because he was just working with his computer. He was not paying attention to me. That's why.
Yes, Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
I said that recently to my husband. I had a physician, and my husband had gone to that physician,
Mm.
and he always looks at his computer.
Yeah.
He never looks at me whenever I'm in the room.
Yeah.
Now, he is a very good physician.
Yeah.
So, as far as care, I felt he could care for me very well.
Yeah.
However, he never interacted with me.
Yeah.
So I felt that, like when he talked, he would never look at me.
Mm.
So I wasn't very engaged with him. I didn't feel like I had a medical trust, but we didn't have that, yeah, personal connection.
Yeah.
I think so. Ultimately, I went to another physician who is also a very good physician.
Mm.
But as soon as I come in, he's looking at me. He talks to me before, even when he's looking at the computer, he looks at me. I think he has a comfort level there.
Yeah.
And maybe the other physician did too, but he just liked, just paying attention to his computer.
Yeah.
But he's very engaged. He knows, yeah, my husband's name, or he, knows I'm married, and he asks me about things. So he engages with, yeah, me. So I like going with him, yeah, going to him, and just a very different interaction there. So that does make a difference. Yeah. If you're not paying attention to the patient, just looking at the computer, they feel neglected and you're not paying them any attention.
Yeah.
So I like that you made that point. But I'm going to have to jump off, Dr. Rao. But yeah, this has been a great conversation. I want to come back and continue this with you, yeah, as you continue this journey on this topic.
Yeah, yeah. I have to send invitation to everybody, Sharon, because I'm just doing it spontaneously. But now I have planning to send invitation to a lot of doctors and people so that we will have audience here. But I do have people on the Wisdom and also on the LinkedIn. Other they are there. So and a lot of people come to my replays. That's why I do it. I have one page, one person, or so many people. But mainly I have to send. Invitations, which I will be doing because I have a regular program now. Then I will be doing that for a long time. Yeah.
Great. I can't wait to come back. I love this discussion. I have, yeah, lots to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure.
I'll see you next time.
Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, I will do in my Docs and Burnout. That is a house actually dedicated to this. And every day, 8 o'clock in the morning, if you want to check it out, replace, or if you want to come and contribute,
okay.
Yeah,
thank you, Dr. Rao.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharon. Okay. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye bye. Yeah, that was Sharon that I know from our community there in the OCC, and I'm glad she's a nurse and she's actually working on this, and that's what kind of folks I'm looking for, so that we can collaborate and then really take this awareness of burnout and the solutions that are produced now that we can use, and then really help people who are on the verge of burnout or they are trying to fight it. Sometimes the problem is if they're seeking medical help, it is also viewed as negative in their credentialing and all that, which is not really important. Really, you should not care about that. You should get better first and then do the work and enjoy. That's my philosophy. We can have a service mode and we can enjoy the profession and also not really allowing those stimuli from this profession really take our health away. So self-care is very important. That's why I am doing this to elevate the awareness of all the healthcare workers. But come to think of it, burnout is not just physicians only, it is happening in all professions. So I kind of deal with a lot of people who are IT executives because they are carrying this laptop 24 hours and they are having problems with that. And also we see a lot of company leaders that are really burning out because of the pressures of the information overload that is happening. So I help with them too. So a lot of different people are showing the signs of burning out, and then they are reaching out for help so that they can have some kind of framework where they can do this self-care, and also some kind of natural things that they can do. And they really approach me because they say we don't have the time to exercise, we don't have the time to eat properly, we don't have the time to sleep, and we cannot stop our mind because there's so much material goes into our head. So that's why I put it like a four pillars of wellness, and then you can deal each one easily, so having a meal at the time of hunger is the best thing. The way I do it is, usually if I'm starting early in the morning, I do have a good breakfast, and then I will carry something for me so that I don't have to eat all the junk outside, and then I eat that. Otherwise, I take fruits or something like that, healthy food. And then when I come home, we have dinner very nicely too. So it can be with awareness of what we are eating and what we are getting at is we can do the nutrition. As far as the activity exercise, you just keep moving and use hospital corridors to walk, and then stairs to take, and also do the office yoga while you're sitting. These kind of things can be designed into your routine so that you can really have that. Okay. And then third thing is, there are certain measures we can teach you about having the quality of sleep. Even if it is a couple of hours, you can learn how to really sleep. Before sleep you have to do some things, after sleep you have to do some things, then you will be sleeping well. And as far as calming the mind, of course meditation is something I teach in a big way. A lot of people come for that, and then once you incorporate these kind of minor changes but that are permanent, and then continue to do them, and also understand where the attack is coming on all these fronts for your self care, then you can take care of yourself better. That's what I have done. That's what I have helped other people, and that's what I'm presenting here too. So this is going to be a series of videos. Please see them, and if you have any comments or if you have any questions on that, feel free to DM me, and I'll be happy to interact. Okay. With that, I will be ending this session today, and I'll again see tomorrow. Mostly, it's going to be in the morning, 8 o'clock Central Time, in my house, Docs and Burnout in the clubhouse. But it will be simultaneously broadcast on the Wisdom app, and also on the YouTube, Facebook, and my Facebook group, and also LinkedIn. All these, and Twitter also will be. I don't know about the threads because I just joined yesterday on the thread, but we will be broadcasting as many channels as possible. Thank you, and I'll be seeing you again tomorrow morning. Bye.